What's up, guys? It's KB. Make sure you subscribe to the Underground Sports Philadelphia YouTube channel. Click the bell icon down below so you don't miss a single video from us. And thanks for tuning in to another video from Underground Sports Philadelphia. Now let's get into it.
Philadelphia, baby, you're going to love it. Best sports fans in the world. Actually, the worst, but that's what makes them the best.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome into another episode of Underground Sports Philadelphia. It's episode number 483. KB coming at you from Underground Studios, solo dolo edition of the show. And we're talking about an Eagles win. The Eagles squeak one out against the Indianapolis Colts. We're going to dive all into it. We're going to talk all about this Eagles win, what it means going forward, talking about the rest of the NFL, and just some housekeeping because it is Thanksgiving week, so the scheduling for a lot of stuff is going to be up in the air with some certain shows we have, but not too much crazy. Not too much that's too crazy, but we're going to dive into all of it, as well as Philadelphia 76ers and Philadelphia Phillies tendering some guys' contracts. And just got done watching Sunday Night Football and the one and only Isaiah Pacheco doing the damn thing. I'll give you an update on the Dan Russo show this week as well. Thanksgiving, I'll be live from Catone Stadium for Vineland versus Millville in one of the longest rivalries in the state of New Jersey and in the country. You don't want to miss that. But before we get started, make sure you guys are following us on the socials at Underground PHI, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook.com/UndergroundSportsPHI, Twitch.tv/UndergroundSportsPHI. Follow me on Twitter at KBIZZL311. Subscribe to the podcast feed, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever the hell you get your podcasts. Subscribe. I'm going to say until I'm blue in the face, subscribe to the Underground Sports Philadelphia podcast feeds. Thanksgiving dinner, we've been saying it for weeks. Pull out your phones. Tell everybody who's at your Thanksgiving dinner, pull out their phones and subscribe to the podcast feed. Apple, Spotify. Leave those 5-star ratings and reviews. Let me know if you think Jalen Hurts is the MVP in the Apple Podcast reviews. And, of course, subscribe to the Underground Sports Philadelphia YouTube channel. YouTube.com/@Underground Sports Philadelphia brings you right to the channel. That's where you get full video episodes of every single podcast on our network. We just had the homie Gio, the podcaster, on Eagles Enemies this week. You don't want to miss out on that. Won't be the last time he's on any of our shows. But you get full episodes of Underground Sports. You get full videos of OTB, the Outside the Box podcast, our official lacrosse podcast. Streamer Season, Top Bins, Get in the Hole, the Dan Russo Show, Eagles Enemies. Plus, we've got some other things in the works coming for 2023 that you won't want to miss. So go subscribe to the YouTube channel. We are at 310 subscribers. We lost a subscriber. I'm sorry that we couldn't keep you. I'm sorry we couldn't keep you in the fold. But we need to get to 1,000 subscribers, guys. And I really think by the end of 2022, we can be at 400. Be a friend, tell a friend, subscribe to the YouTube channel, smash that like button, ring the bell icon, comment down below your thoughts on everything I talk about on tonight's show. And of course, big thank you to our sponsors. Main Auto LLC, Security 21 Security Systems, Paul J. Gillespie Incorporated, and the Dental Wellness Center of Vineland. But let's get into it. Jalen Hurts leads the Eagles to victory, does the damn thing in nail-biting fashion. Eagles win this game over the Colts to improve to 9-1, 17-16. They are all alone once again at the top of the NFL. Only team at 9-1. They take down the Colts. Jalen Hurts goes 18 of 25 for 190 yards in the air. One touchdown through the air as well to one Quez Watkins. Jalen Hurts also ran the ball, led the team in rushing, 16 carries, 86 yards, and a touchdown on the ground, which was the game-winning touchdown. Devontae Smith, your leader in receiving, 6 catches, 78 yards. And like I mentioned, Quez Watkins had the receiving touchdown. Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, C.J. Gardner-Johnson leading the team in tackles with 10. No interceptions in this game for the Eagles, but they did have a big-time forced fumble that TJ Edwards came up with, if I'm not mistaken. We also got the debuts of Linval Joseph and Ndamukong Suh, who looked fantastic. They both combined for a sack in this game, each recording a half a sack. Brandon Graham, Milton Williams, and Hassan Reddick also getting big-time sacks on Matt Ryan in this game. I'll go on the record and say it. You want to talk about performers in this game. It was Jalen Hurts, it was Linval Joseph, and it was Ndamukong Suh. All three of those guys stepped up in such a big way, especially, from a standpoint of like just getting here midweek. Linval Joseph and Ndamukong Suh, job well done, fellas. You guys stepped up in such a big way. You fit in with this squad like no other. It's like you were meant to be playing here. So that was a welcomed, pleasant surprise to see how well those guys adapted into the Eagles system. Seeing them combine for a sack together was so freaking cool. And Ndamukong Suh he's long been, he's had the on-the-field controversies and things like that, but he's long been one of my favorite players to watch. He's such a stud along that defensive line, and adding him into the mix here was fantastic, and I'm happy he's a part of this Eagles team. Helping plug up that middle, held Jonathan Taylor under 100 yards rushing, and Linval Joseph was fantastic as well. But Jalen Hurts, this was, even though it wasn't the most dynamic, flashy performance, this was Jalen Hurts proving why he's an MVP candidate, proving why he's my MVP. And I truly think after Sunday Night Football, it comes down to Jalen Hurts and Patrick Mahomes as the MVP frontrunners. But this game proved why Jalen Hurts is the MVP of the NFL this year. When times were tough, guys, their backs were against the wall, Jalen Hurts carried his team to victory. He put the team on his back and said, boys, we're not losing this game. We're going to go down the field. We're going to cap this thing off, and we're going to win a football game. He did most of that on his own, whether it was his legs, through the air. The touchdown to Quez Watkins was huge. Him just taking advantage of the holes that the Colts defense was affording him in the run game. It was almost like they were able to spread the Red Sea open, and Jalen Hurts just had clear space to run and get things done with his legs. This was a defining just character building moment, and not character in a sense of a person, but character development in a TV show, if you will. This was 2022 character development for Jalen Hurts. He proved to the NFL and proved to everybody else, even though they're going to downplay it because they barely beat the Colts, he proved to the NFL that he has what it takes to put a team on his back, go out and win a football game, and that's what I want from my franchise quarterback. Also, suck it, Pro Football Talk. Your power rankings are straight up basura. You need to get it together. That's why power rankings, you shouldn't pay attention to them. They are just for clicks. But Jalen Hurts proved a lot to me today. His composure was undeniably off the charts. He proved that even when moments were tough and the times get tough, the tough get going. And Jalen Hurts certainly got going on that final drive for the Eagles, was able to kind of control the clock. Even though there was some questionable play calling in this game across the board, Shane Steichen had me scratching my head very much so for about, 48, 50 minutes of this game. It was just very odd play calling, very odd decision making, and this was one of the first times that the Eagles' offensive line was kind of suspect to me in a lot of ways. They were missing blocks. It didn't help that these referees, I think somebody just needs to hold them. They just want to be held like a baby because they called holding penalties all fucking game. It was insane. Every play was like a holding penalty. At one point, I had tweeted out there was 140 yards in penalties between both teams. That's just the refs. This is not even similar to last Monday night. This is more so the refs just wanting to insert themselves into the game any opportunity they got, and that's what they did. And it just slowed any momentum either team had. It made things choppy. It made things very like sporadic and not fun to watch. Referees are there to make calls that they deem are going to affect the game. You're not there to make calls that are going to affect the game. A lot of the calls that these refs made, especially the holding calls, affected the game one way or another. You never want to see the refs be that involved and be like a third team on the field. That's not what they're meant to be for. And the NFL really has to figure a lot of that out. I don't know what it's going to take. It blows my mind how truly like involved referees get. Not even just in Eagles. This is like across the NFL thing that I'm talking here. But the way that refs get themselves involved in games and want to be like the first star of the game is not what the NFL needs. And it truly takes away from just like the flow of a game, takes the enjoyability away, and that's what drives people away from watching football. So the refs need to get their shit together ASAP. But before I keep talking about this game, make sure you guys go check out our epic merch partners, PHI Apparel Company. They are the best in the game. Our podcast exclusive merch is carried on their website right now. You can get every single podcast on our network that exists. You can get the logos on a t-shirt. Hoodies should be coming soon. I've been told hats will be available soon as well. We've got some kick-ass designs coming for Black Friday and Cyber Monday as well. And PHI Apparel Company carries the best apparel for the great fans of Philly. And with their unique designs, there's no doubt you guys will stand out in the crowd. Our listeners can go to phiapparel.co and use code UNDERGROUND for 10% off any apparel. That's any apparel, code UNDERGROUND for 10% off when you shop at phiapparel.co. Get on top of that Black Friday and Cyber Monday shopping ASAP, no Rocky. We're going to have merch up. I'm hoping this merch design, it's sweet. It is sweet. And you're not going to want to miss it. So go to phiapparel.co, use code UNDERGROUND for 10% off your order. The Vikings get absolutely mollywopped by the Dallas Cowboys today, so the Eagles are now back at the top all alone, not with the Vikings breathing down their necks per se, like they were last week, even though the Eagles do have that tiebreaker. A beautiful, beautiful thing. It was a win-win for the Eagles in that game, just as it will be on Thanksgiving when the Cowboys and Giants play each other, and then we'll all be rooting for the New England Patriots as well because they play the Vikings on Thanksgiving night. But the Eagles are 9-1 right now. The Cowboys and Giants both at 7-3. And then you have the Commanders at 6-5, still very much in the mix for a wild card spot. The Seattle Seahawks at 6-4. They were on a bye this week. They are a postseason team right now. And then the Vikings at 8-2, the Bucks at 5-5. Those are your NFC postseason teams, and the 49ers play on Monday night. They're 5-4. The way the NFC is shaken up right now, through 11 weeks of this season, I'm feeling real good about the Eagles right now. Like they're about to smash their win total over, which was 9.5. You win one more game, boom, you're there. The Eagles are 9-1. Their remaining schedule looks like this. You have the Packers on Sunday Night Football at the Link to close out the month of November. Then you have the Titans coming to town on December 4th. Then you get your first crack at the New York Giants on December 11th at the Meadowlands. Then you go to Chicago on December 18th. And then short week, Christmas Eve, 4:25, prime time. Dallas Cowboys, Eagles, Jerry World. It's going to be a doozy. It's going to be a big one. And then New Year's Day, the Saints come to town, take care of business there, knock the Saints down even more, and help you get a top draft pick. And then the Giants come to town in a game that could mean something now, which is crazy to think. We didn't think that during our breakdown of wins and losses this year, which I'm going to pull up right now. because Matt and I both weren't sure about this Packers game because we thought the Packers would be much better, to start the year. But let's see here. Our preseason predictions. September, October, November. Matt had the Eagles at 7-4 through the month of November. They've already eclipsed that. I had the Eagles at 3-6. Ha! Would you look at that? If the Eagles beat the Packers, I have the prediction correct at 9-1. That's absolutely insane. That's crazy. Wow. And then I have them going 2-2 in December, which I'm assuming was Cowboys Giants split, maybe, or Cowboys Titans, and then 1-1. Holy shit. That's one of my better predictions of all time. Wow. Yeah, I mean, the Eagles can be 10-1 going into the final stretch, 6 games of the season. If they take care of business against the Packers, which the Packers proved they can go out and still win games. You can't count them out at all. The Packers will be coming off their mini bye after losing to the Titans on Thursday night. But you look at the Packers right now, who are sitting at 4-7. If the Eagles beat them, they effectively end the Packers season, especially in that NFC North that's led by the Vikings right now, and the two teams that are fighting for wildcard positioning in the NFC East with the Cowboys and Giants. The Eagles can get to 10-1. Man, that'd be beautiful. That'd be absolutely beautiful. And I mean, it's completely doable. And you look at what the Eagles did in this Colts game as well. They ran the ball for 141 yards. They held the Colts as a team under 100 yards. Total yards, 314 in this one. Eagles not great on third down, 5 for 12 on third down. They need to fix that. Staying out of third down situations, and when you are in third down situations, be more effective. Going 50% on third down is a little less there, to be completely honest. Yes, 7 penalties for the Eagles, 8 for the Colts for a combined 145 yards in penalties. Time of possession was pretty much equal. But the Eagles got it done. Excuse me, they got it done. And again, I'm asking, free Greg Ward. I need to look and see. Is Greg Ward even still on this practice squad? Because if he is, there's no excuse for Britton Covey to be still returning punts, still returning everything. That's just organizational malpractice. Nothing against Britton Covey. I'm sure he's a great dude. But my goodness, man. Him and Aaron Sipos are just not good whatsoever. Practice squad. Yeah, I mean, Devin Allen's on the practice squad. You could be using him. Greg Ward is on the practice squad. Could be using him. Anybody else of note? No. Yeah, I mean, both of those guys are available. We should be using them way more than we are. But nonetheless, Eagles improved. The Giants lost to the Lions. Suck it. How about that? Giants are back. It was nice to see the Giants back in their normal form. But the Eagles are improved to 9-1 this season. It's always go Birds. Very, very impressed with Jalen Hurts' poise and just like charisma and leadership in this game, because it was a job well done. So shout out to Jalen Hurts. And you can look just as cool, not as cool, just as close to cool as you can, just like Jalen Hurts does every single week, by copping your pairs of Tomahawk shades. you guys can go to TomahawkShades.com. It's the best small batch eyewear in the game. They've got sunglasses. They got blue light glasses. The blue light plus glasses are a lifesaver for me when I'm staring at screens, whether it's computers, TVs, phone, whatever it may be. Protects my eyes. Helps me sleep better at night. You guys can go to TomahawkShades.com. Check out everything they've got to offer. They got these cool hoodies that I'm wearing right now, too. If you're watching on YouTube, you can see it with just a simplistic Tomahawk logo. TomahawkShades.com and use code USP for 25% off your order when you shop at TomahawkShades.com. That's code USP at TomahawkShades.com for 25% off your order. Man, the Eagles being back was very nice. To have that win this week is going to be a lot more digestible, if you will. So that's always a positive. The Sixers, though, since the last we spoke, they went out. They took care of business against the Jazz on last Sunday, and then on Friday playing against the Bucks. The Giannis ladder game, if you will. Giannis throwing the ladder down while he's trying to practice his free throws that he bricked 100 of during the game. Goes viral, but the Sixers handle the Bucks. Joel Embiid has been just absolutely unbelievable in this game against the Bucks. 32 points, 11 rebounds, 8 assists in a quote-unquote off night. Just a brilliant performance by him. Tyrese Maxey added 24 points in that game as well. Tyrese Maxey now, though, is injured. Has a small fracture in his foot that he sustained in the game against the Timberwolves. Just unfortunate. Very unfortunate. And hopefully, it's not that long of an injury that keeps him out too long. Joel in this game, 32 points, 9 rebounds, 6 assists. But the Sixers fell just short, 112-109. They're now 8-8 this season. Sitting in the 8th seed right now. It's been a bumpy road for the Sixers this season, to say the least. Again, coaching is a big question mark with this team. Doc Rivers continues to be what I think is a detriment to this team. He's holding them back big time, and it doesn't seem like he's going anywhere anytime soon, which is unfortunate. But Joel Embiid just continues to be the most insane basketball player we will ever see. We need to continue to give him his flowers as long as humanly possible, because it's crazy what he's doing right now, and he did it last year, he did it the year before. I mean, looking at his last 6 games, these are the lines he's had. 32 points, 11 rebounds, 8 assists, 3 blocks. 59 points, 11 rebounds, 8 assists, 7 blocks, shooting 68% on his field goals. 42 points, 10 rebounds, 6 assists, 2 blocks, 56% shooting. 26, 13, 2, and 1, 50% shooting. 33 points, 10 rebounds, 5 assists, 1 block. 32 points, 9 rebounds, 6 assists, 3 steals. And now it's quite funny seeing all the accounts and everything on Twitter and Instagram and stuff like that. It's insane that, people are just finally wising up to believing in Joel Embiid. The dude's been utterly dominant. He performs at a high clip night in and night out that he's out there on the court. He just wants to win in this city. He's one of us. We love Joel. I can't say enough good things, and it just sucks that Harden's out right now. It sucks that Maxey's out now, and they just got to figure it out and see what they can do to weather that storm. It's brutal. It's absolutely brutal. So hopefully Joel, can stay healthy and keeps doing his thing, because he's on another historic tear that people will forget about, and chalk up the advanced metrics and everything like they do every single year and give it to somebody else in terms of the MVP. And we all know Joel Embiid deserves it, and has been snubbed for the last 3 years. So keep doing your thing, Joel. We're proud of you, and you're the MVP, man. Some in-house Underground Sports Philadelphia stuff. Obviously, Thanksgiving week. Some scheduling will be moved around. We'll still be recording Wednesday night for the main pod, twitch.tv/Underground Sports PHI, myself and Matt on Wednesday night, 7 p.m. Eastern time. We're looking to get streamer season in, hopefully, on Wednesday as well. We'll let you guys know on the socials what goes down with that, and making sure that gets in, because we got some big stuff planned for that show. And Get in the Hole will go as planned. Recording on Monday, released on Tuesday. And then we should hopefully get another Eagles Enemies to stay back on track with that. Worst comes to worst, we'll have Packers fan extraordinaire DJ Hughes for Eagles Enemies. And then OTB will probably just be recording early. So if any of you are OTB listeners listening to this as well, if any news comes out post, when we typically record on Thursday night pretty late, we apologize, because we just want to get the episode in, because we want to enjoy the holiday as well as much as we possibly can. Which I'll be working Thursday morning, because Vineland High School football plays in the most historic rivalry in the state of New Jersey. That's right. I'll be on the call. Cantone Stadium, 151st matchup between Vineland and Millville. The Dan Russo Show should be back this week as well. And we'll be previewing that matchup. Thanksgiving is always a doozy of a time. Big things happen. Crazy things happen on Thanksgiving. Looking forward to that. And, big shout out to Isaiah Pacheco on Sunday Night Football once again. Primetime Pop shows up always. Rushes for 100 yards, his first 100-yard rushing game of his career. First 100-yard rusher for the Chiefs since 2021 Week 4 against the Eagles. So he ends that drought for the Chiefs. And Pop just continues to prove why, Vineland is here. Vineland is going to be on the map for the long haul. And, Tyreen Powell is coming right up the pipeline from Rutgers. He'll be next on the docket. And it all started with Jamil Demby, for this era. Obviously, we had Lou Picone way back in the day, but Jamil Demby did the thing with the Rams. Shout out to Jamil as well. Gets drafted by the Vegas Vipers in the XFL. One pick away from being selected round 4 pick X of what his day he was drafted by the Rams would have been. He was drafted April 28th, 2018. He was picked round 4, pick 29 by Vegas. But that just means it's one extra number, because it's that next chapter. And we're excited to see what Jamil does with the Vegas Vipers in the XFL. His story is just getting started. Obviously, been to 2 Super Bowls, a Super Bowl champion, bouncing back from that injury. The XFL is just what the doctor ordered. He's going to be able to showcase in a much more full-time capacity for that team. We're going to be covering the Vipers as much as we can, because we've got rooting interest now. Jamil's going to be on the show in the next few weeks, hopefully to talk about the process and talk about everything with Vegas. We're trying to get out to Vegas to go cover and take in some XFL action, because we got a lot of business to attend to in Vegas. So if we can get out there to catch Jamil in Vegas, that would be absolutely electric. But congratulations to Jamil. Congrats to Pop for the 100-yard rushing game. And like I said, the Dan Russo Show will be back this week previewing the 151st matchup of Vineland and Millville, the most historic matchup in the state of New Jersey, and one of the longest running rivalries in all of the country. So you don't want to miss that. Vineland Public Schools YouTube channel if you want to watch the game and hear myself and my booth partner Rich Scarpa on the call. Very excited for that matchup on Thanksgiving Day. But that's all I got for you guys. Make sure you're following us on the socials at Underground PHI, Twitter, Instagram. Follow me on Twitter at KBIZZL311. Subscribe to the podcast feed, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts. Leave those 5-star ratings and reviews. They go a long way for helping this show continue to grow. And we appreciate all of you guys for listening each and every week. Twice a week, too. And, of course, subscribe to the Underground Sports Philadelphia YouTube channel, youtube.com/@Underground Sports Philadelphia. You get full video episodes of all your favorite Underground Sports Philadelphia podcasts. You got a lot coming this week, a lot of fun stuff, that's for sure. Shout out to our awesome merch partners, PHI Apparel Company. Go to phiapparel.co and use code Underground for 10% off all of your apparel needs. All of our merch is now live, and hopefully very soon we'll have our exclusive Black Friday, Cyber Monday merch capsule that we have planned. You don't want to miss it. Go get that shopping done. Support us. Buying merch is like the biggest way you can support us for helping us continue to grow in the trajectory that we see fit. And we appreciate the hell out of all of you who have bought merch so far. Big thank you to our sponsors who make this show happen. Main Auto LLC, Security 21 Security Systems, Paul J. Gillespie Incorporated, and the Dental Wellness Center of Vineland. Shout out to Kenwood Beer, Tomahawk Shades. All of their info is linked in the show notes on audio and in the description on YouTube. But this has been episode number 483 of Victory Monday edition of Underground Sports Philadelphia. I'm your boy KB. Till Wednesday night, myself and Matt, twitch.tv/Underground Sports PHI. We'll be live talking about everything Eagles, hopefully some Phillies off-season news. Shout out to Reese Hoskins getting that contract tendered, along with about 6 other guys. We'll be talking about that. We'll be talking about the Sixers, the Flyers. Who knows what we'll be talking about. We'll definitely be talking about Survivor. But until then, I'm getting the heck out of here. And I'm signing off. Peace.